Welcome to how to create a life and a business you love freely. So here we're talking, my word for 2019 is freedom. Freedom in all forms, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, relationally, playfully, physically, and financially. So first, I'm gonna set and give you guys some, and if you haven't listened to the prior post or prior podcast, I highly recommend you do, because it's gonna give you a lot of insight into 2018 and into my story. So first, my word for 2019 is freedom. 2018, I feel like, was the springboard, because my word for 2018 was faith. And from that, I massively faced fears. I massively broke through brain barriers and took tons of leap of faith. Was I afraid? Absolutely. Did I feel the fear? Absolutely. Did I choose to feel and trust that there was so much more freedom on the other side of facing those fears? Absolutely. So this year, spiritually, it's all about even more freedom, and how I'm doing that and how I'm being extremely intentional about that already, you guys, is January 31st, I'm going to a candlelight service. Then on January 1st, I'm hosting a workshop. Then I am going to a vision board workshop myself. And I've already been pulling out pictures and papers of different things that I want for myself and that I'm co-creating for the business. And some of those include pictures of Hawaii. Some of those include pictures of a transformation center. Some of those include a condo or a house on the beach, or so many more things. Giving back to help in homelessness, help military vets, help battered women, help in cancer. And also, I'm going to the documentary Made for More by Rachel Hollis. So if you haven't read her book, highly recommend it. I'm almost done with time number 2. Girl Wash Your Face. She's super vulnerable, super authentic, super real, and shares like all her struggles. So I'm going to watch her documentary about like how she set up her events and different things, and her sharing the journey. Then I'm going to possibly, this is a possible, depending on how I feel after and if I want to journal, to the botanical gardens. I love the botanical gardens. I love the lights. I'm going to Holiday in the Park also later this week, actually tomorrow. And so that's a possibility. Then already in January, you guys, I've gotten very clear and specific on my goals on the 7 steps to success, the levels of revenue that I want to hit, and I've hit a target, but I've also put a range, 10,000 to 100,000, and different documented volume points with Herbalife of basically the same thing. I hit a range, anywhere from 3,000 to 20,000. And then basically, so I've realized more and more, you guys, when you hit targets, that you start to realize that you're truly capable of being limitless, resilient, and priceless. And it shifts you into more of who you get to become. Then also different goals and different things with community and creating community, both for the month and for the year, okay? But again, I've put ranges from a standpoint of having the goal, but not being married to the outcome and not having it have to be in a specific month. So basically, my goal is within 2018 to get to stable 6-figure months and then grow to the next level. So believing that I've seen tons of mentors and coaches get to that level, and believing that I'm capable of it too, and so are you. Then also in January, you guys, from an intentional aspect, I'm going to our Herbalife Nutrition Training Spectacular in Miami with Disney and Jorge de la Concepcion, which they're at a level in Herbalife Nutrition, which is called Founders Circle. I'm sorry, obviously I'm speaking that already for them in existence. Chairman's Club currently, obviously on their way to Founders Circle, which basically means they've helped over 5 people get to a 6+ figure stable business, meaning that's what they're receiving, that they're generating even more for the company. and they are running workshops and a lot of things around social media, and I really wanted to go to Miami / the beach anyway for my training. I'm also going to visit my aunt in Colorado and help her with video, help her with social, help her with different things. So if you're ever in Basalt, Colorado, or near Aspen, she has a shop called Fabu Fashion in Basalt. She's amazing, super, super friendly. If you've been following me, I have different videos on YouTube, I post different things. And then I've also got invited, I'm hosting Michal Spiegelman, who is also Reiki certified. And she has a company called Balanced Moments. She's hosting a workshop, Beacons of Light. And I invited her to be on our podcast and several other things that we're collaborating on, creating community with, and also with our Atlanta event coming up in January. And she offered to give me, basically gift me, I guess, for all the value, all different things, a ticket to that workshop. So I'm gonna also be at that workshop too. So that's just January, you guys, and that's not even talking about our workshop week. So another epiphany I had for 2019, as this was already setting the stage in 2018, is hosting a workshop week every month. So having a free, thank goodness it's Monday, and a lunch and learn with hands-on activities on health, wealth, or business, like the one in January we're doing, hands-on social media, with literally sharing your story, with placement, with your Instagram feed, with a whole bunch of stuff. So those are Monday and Wednesday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, they're paid workshops. So Monday and Wednesday free, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, paid ones. That include, once again, health tools with Herbalife, include different money tools, different business tools, online meal plans, all kinds of things, plus post-event support with our online courses or masterminds, depending on what options you choose. So that's just January, you guys, like it's incredible. And so with the focus of freedom and the subheaders of faith, hope, and love, I talked about spiritual, I talked about how my year is already jump starting, literally. Also, mental, the level of focus and the level of clarity, you guys, and the level of celebrating where I've been and realizing that A, you're never too young for something. So I hit 6 figures before I was 30. So busted that myth. Then I experienced all kinds of roller coasters with money in my 30s. So, had to release a lot of judgment against myself and against debt, against not being worthy, all these different things, you guys, all these different emotions. And realizing it was about a bigger picture than myself because I was creating the space and the compassion for others. And then realizing, like, I'm 40 now. And people all the time think I'm like under 30, which, hey, I love it. And I can see where they get confused sometimes when I start talking, and it makes me laugh. And so never judge a book by its cover. And I'm living in dreams now, you guys, that a lot of people would say, oh, you're too old for that. First of all, who's they? And nobody has authority over your life unless you give them that. And who cares what they think or what their opinion is? At the end of the day, it's your life, and what are you gonna do to create what you love and a business you love and live freely in co-creation or with the universe or whatever you believe, but freely being you, and stop giving power to they. So obviously I'm passionate about that because I've been there, done that. And you guys, I'm doing things that most people would like a long time ago say, you're too old for that. Do I care? No. And I used to. So, you guys, I do fitness shows in bikinis, first of all. Years ago, I would have judged myself for that. I travel the world, and I've had moments where I've been living off debt or needed, help with my parents countless times. Years ago, I would have judged myself for that. And I'm like, and it wasn't that literally in those moments, you guys, it wasn't that I wasn't taking action or doing 10 things, 20 things, 100 things, applying for stable, applying for this, applying for that. But what I came to realize is I was clearly being put into a confined state to fully focus on my passion and purpose and to stop judging myself. And to play full out and to unleash all of me and to believe that I'm limitless, resilient, and priceless so that I can give that back to others. And realize, you know, that sometimes we go through things so that we can solely relate to others, and that we can stop judging ourselves so that we stop judging others. Because I used to hold so much value and recognition and status and power and money, and I know a lot of us do. But I started to realize, well, what if I came from a space of passion and purpose, people and profits, and compassion and grace? Well, I realized first, what if I focused on giving it to myself and then extending it to others? And you guys, that's when everything started to change. So the spiritual, the mental, and emotional, so more of that in 2019 and beyond, and more time freedom. I'm a night owl. I love to like kick things out at night. Like yesterday, you guys, I was up till like 4 in the morning and then got up again like at 9:30. I love, like, don't get me wrong, I'll get up early when I need to and be responsible and show up, or when I feel it. But I remember during several different times in my life when right before I was hitting major breakthroughs on the other side, I was pouring myself out and working or studying or doing different things till 10 o'clock, midnight, 6 a.m., whatever it was. And so find like your natural rhythm and ways that you flow that help set you on fire freely. So more of that. More visions for our transformation center, more visions for different things for me personally, as far as visions of being engaged at Camp Pretty Place or being married in Hawaii, and so many more things that I'm speaking into existence. I created a terrarium this year with basically the semblance of Hawaii and a wedding candle, and so many more things. So spiritual, mental, emotional. Then physical, so staying on point with my Herbalife nutrition, staying on point with my meal plans, more aspects of vegetarian or veganism to see what that's like. I was a vegetarian at one point, but then when I started to compete, I got more, like I needed more protein, and I wasn't like not that I wasn't open, but I felt like I needed more either meat or chicken, or just needed to make it simpler for me at the time. So now I'm just in a different state. Then doing another photo shoot with Team Edge and competing again, probably in October. So staying full on and just taking my body and continuing to transform to the next level. And you know, Brendan Burchard said this years ago when I went to one of his events, High Performance Academy, and also World's Greatest Speaker Training. When you're running your own company, it takes the same level of energy like an athlete, and the focus and the drive. And you guys, I truly believe that. Like when I look back now, when I got to 6 figures before the age of 30, I was still partying or drinking or doing different things in between, eating maybe once a day. And I was, at some of the biggest points in my career, I was so cranky. Well, hello. I was running on fumes, I was running on partial passion and purpose, and I was serving exponentially. You guys, there was times where I was traveling 80%, managing over 50 locations across energy companies, across consulting companies, and loved a lot of the work I was doing, but also was not doing all of me. And I did not have time freedom, and I did not have location freedom. So obviously that became very, very important to me, and for my future, for our company, for future creators with us, influencers, bloggers, and more. So spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, playful, more playtime. When Katrina is playing and she's operating, like play is in everything that I do, like this is playtime, you guys. Like I'm connecting with you like you're my best friend, and that's my intention behind that. That you get that, yes, I'm trying to help you, and we're trying to help you create a life and business you love, but we also want you to get a sense of relatability, authenticity with our brand. And as I grow and as we grow, we're gonna be introducing more community members that, you know, more features on the blog and the podcast, more features and integrations with bloggers and podcasters, creating their own challenges on our platform, creating their own courses on our platform, their own retreats with us, their own academies with us, becoming transformation coaches with us and certified, and so much more. There's so much more to come, you guys. We're just getting started. Obviously integrating Herbalife into all of that, integrating Kajabi into all of that, business plans into all of that, and whatever other people choose to do or not do in their business, that's their business. But our business is our business. And having that freedom and that choice to choose. So spiritual, emotional, relational, physical, playful. So I talked about some of the playtime. I'm gonna be filming more vlogs, more things like kind of behind the scenes, because I recognize more and more people like to see behind the scenes. So I'll be doing more of that in Miami. I'll be filming more of the blog and the podcast and our courses and our academies and our mastermind while I'm traveling. Because that's part of like who I am and part of like what I do, and I love it, and I love the freedom to be able to do that. So I want to show you more of that in 2019 and beyond. So in Miami, I'll be filming segments of our academy, our blog, our mastermind. Same thing in Colorado. In February and March and April, there may be an international trip. So there's something in the works there, possibly in South America. So I'm currently working on that. Plus, we've already got Brazil in the works. So if you're interested in attending workshops or retreats with us, definitely check out our upcoming Atlanta events, and also check out our international retreats. We already have Brazil in the works, and a lot of different things co-hosting, a lot of different things happening with that. And we're also going to be helping the people that come not only transform and travel with hands-on health, hands-on money, hands-on business, going to see Christ the Redeemer, going to see Sugarloaf Mountain, but we're also going to be having workshops and then helping people create their first online course, and then having them walk away with an online how to create and launch your course in a week, all included, and a month to 2 months in the mastermind, you guys, because we believe in setting people up powerfully for success, that we implement at all of our events. You take action at all of our events. So you're transforming and you're inspiring and you're taking action, and then you're set up for success after the event. You're not just left to figure it out. No. I'm setting you up for success because I am deeply passionate about that, and that was always easy for me to figure out. But I realized part of my gifting was to help people in what my natural gifting is and set them up for success, to help them create and you create a life and a business you love. So you can check that out at fitlifecreation.com/retreats. So that's January, February, March, April. We already have workshops and retreats and events, you guys, planned out to the middle of the year. And we'll probably have the rest, like different things outlined into the end of the year, probably by March, if not sooner. And you guys, I'm leaving intentionally a lot of freedom and flexibility within the schedule, because I'm intentional, and one of our goals is having 1 to 7 retainers with over 10,000 a month with companies, helping them set up a lifestyle brand platform with all the different pieces, with freebies, blogs, podcasts, online challenges, online courses, retreats, academies, and all of that, higher education, travel conferences, and partnering with brands that want to integrate with our influencer community. So setting up the year super powerfully and super intentional. So spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, playful. So playtime, incorporating play into all I do, plus having time for playtime. Today, you guys, part of what I did is I volunteered with a puppy adoption service rescue center, Bosley's Place, went and played with puppies and had like the best time, and also filmed video and filmed courses as part of the, not courses, filmed video and filmed, took pictures as part of the value I was giving back to help them spread the message on their mission. But it was something pure fun that I was doing just I wanted to do. I wanted to be surrounded by pure unconditional love, and puppies are amazing. I mean, dogs are too, but puppies are especially amazing and so playful. So got to do that today. And some, like I mentioned, some of the fun things that are coming up with Miami, with Colorado. I'm sure I'm gonna go skiing. I'm sure, like last time I went skiing, you guys, it was hilarious. I got on the like bunny slope, and next to me it was like some 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. Now granted, they live in Colorado and they ski repeatedly, right? And obviously they probably started skiing even before they could walk, or it was like at the same time. You guys, they got off and they were like Black Diamond Pro Jedi skiers, and I just bust out laughing. And the dad was like, I was like, wow. I'm like, you know, champion skiers right there. I'm like, wow. I'm like, talk about humility. Talk about like laughing at yourself when you're on the bunny slope with a 3-year-old and they're literally kicking your ass, right? And so I'll probably do that and, you know, have like the best time, like fall 10,000 times. Great. And I'll laugh the whole time. Like, that's part of it, you guys. And I mentioned like setting up retreats. I mentioned like more time and connecting. My mom and I are talking about China or Portugal, and my dad. Hopefully seeing my niece and my nephew, and there may be something happening where they actually end up coming to the US, so fingers crossed. So more playtime, more relational time, more connection time, more community time. Spiritual, mental, emotional, relational, playful, and definitely scheduling it, you guys. So every Sunday, I go through a scheduling where I look at those 7 steps to success. Spiritual, mental, emotional, relational, playful, physical, and financial. And I go through, did I schedule that time for every day the next week? And of course, some days there's gonna be more financial, you know, but every day I'm intentional about spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. And then depending on the day, I might be better at relational. Depending on the day, I might be better at focusing more energy. I don't like to use the word better because it indicates better or worse. But it's being more, exerting more energy is probably the better phrase on finances that day, okay? And, you know, whatever that is, right? So spiritual, mental, emotional, relational, physical, playful, financial. So for 2019 and beyond, it's taking more leaps of faith. And I mentioned that the word for the year is freedom. It's with subtitles of faith, hope, and love. So it's taking more leaps of faith, having more hope, having for everything, you guys, for time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, more love, and expanding. And that's one of the reasons why I also decided to volunteer with puppies. And I will be getting a puppy named Faith in 2019. It's already done. I have the puppy toys already. That's why I'm volunteering at the shelter. And I will temp foster sometimes, where I might keep a puppy for a weekend or like a week or 2, and then I will adopt. So that's already set up, back on the playful, because the puppy is gonna make me wanna play, right? Or not make me want to, I will play freely. And also on a financial level, I mentioned a couple of things already. Back to like the structure, content. So staying on track with how we set the stage in 2018, with the structure, with our 12 themes, from Jumpstart Transformation to Unleash Inspiration to Smart Social to Moneymaker, Boss Brand, and more like simplicity, more video, more behind the scenes, more on location while I travel, that I am creating content, creating courses, creating community while I travel. So, you know, helping others launch their courses, featuring them on the podcast or on videos as I travel, filming courses outside. I did that in Cuba before, and that's part of what I'll be doing in Miami, Colorado, Brazil, other locations as well. And increasingly to further show that time, location, financial freedom. Hosting more guests, creating more community with like giveaways and things like that. Courses. Oh, content, let me back up real quick. Content also, so books. So you may or may not know, I'm also a published author, and I was also for years. I actually published my first piece on how to grow your waist, no, what was it? Sorry, I'm now blanking on the title, but basically it was like, the growing waistline of obesity in America. And so you guys, it's so crazy how I did that in college, and I co-authored with my finance professor, and how now I help people in health, wealth, and business. And then how after that I had all this experience in money and in business. So crazy how life goes full circle. So that was actually my first piece. Then I co-authored like some other things, and then I had a publication with American Institute of CPAs, and digging deeper with data analysis. And then I just released my first book on Amazon, How to Create Retreats. So the same way I was talking about Brazil, like I realized like I have this audience that also travels, and I love to travel. And some of them I know want to create retreats, but they're afraid of it. So a great way to help serve people like that may be a blog, podcast, right? Hosting them on our podcast, having them at our retreats, and our people that want to purchase our book, right? Are helping them create online courses and different ways to leverage like their community that they already have that reach. So that's published. So back to content. Between January and March, I'll be releasing How Passion Plus Purpose Equals Profits. I'm already working on part 1. That was submitted to rev.com. So I found a way to hack doing authoring. Before I would write, which is great, but I realized how much more time it took. Versus now, thank you Shailene Johnson for letting me know about Rev when I was in your Smart Success program years ago. Because I had the epiphany, you guys. What if instead of writing, and sometimes I write and then sometimes I speak, right? Because it depends on different things that are going on or that I'm focusing on. But I realized, what if I speak my books and then get them transcribed on Rev and then edit them and morph and be like in a more introverted focused state. So that's literally how I authored How to Create Retreats. And that's how I submitted part 1 already. On How Passion Plus Purpose Equals Profits. And by the way, I have a free series on that you can download at fitlifecreation.com, freebies, that I also filmed in Cuba. And so yeah, you guys, it's going amazing. I actually went on several mini spiritual retreats and kind of unplugging in 2018, and I'm gonna continue that. And one of them, I stayed at like an amazing farmhouse close to Madison, Georgia. You can look on my YouTube. I've got some behind the scenes videos. And I literally, you guys, spoke out my How to Create Retreats book that weekend, and over half of How Passion Plus Purpose Equals Profits. So I'm done already with How to Create Retreats, and then I've already recorded over half of How Passion Plus Purpose Equals Profits and submitted part 1 to Rev to transcribe it, and then I'm gonna edit that, then submit part 2, edit that, 3, 4, boom, done. So that'll be published. Then from my courses, so listen what I'm saying, you guys, the courses we already published, I'm repurposing that content, getting it transcribed on Rev. So simple, creating a book. So the book series I'm launching is, one of the book series I'm launching is the Create It series. And it's basically like the retreat one is How to Create Retreats. You are a creator of retreats. And then the next one is How Passion Plus Purpose Equals Profit. So that's not an official Create It series. That's more of like the self-help, faith, type series that I'll be doing, and also a trilogy on my own life of faith, hope, and love. I'm working on faith right now too. It's been outlined, but it hasn't been recorded yet. So these first 2. Then I'll be taking from the course, How to Create and Launch Your Online Course in a Week. That's gonna be made into a book. Then How to Create Community with Influencers. You are a community creator. That's gonna be a book. So that's already between January and June, like I can definitively tell you at least another 4 books will be published on content. And then corresponding blog posts, corresponding podcasts, everything. So you can see the flow and the simplicity. Oh my God, I love simplicity and ease and like hacking. So years ago, you guys, I read the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And at the time, I think I was working like 60, 70 hour weeks. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's times that you'll definitely pour into that. And when I'm operating with passion and purpose, you guys, I don't count hours, but I want the freedom that if one week I want to work nothing, I can, and everything flows. And technically I'm still working because I already created that. Or I have a team, a community that's already like doing different things, right? Like scaling smart. That's where the influencers come into play. That's where the automation comes into play. The automation in the courses, having a person upload videos, different things, like all that is scalable, simple. So the 4-Hour Workweek massively inspired me, and having that freedom. So content, courses. So we're expanding to have next year by March, refreshing our Transformation Academy. refreshing our creation club, so having 3 months in each. Then by the end of the year, having a full year in Creation Club. That's our monthly mastermind, where you get the 12 themes, you get brand new content every day, and the sneak peek for the first 14 days. You can go check that out at our freebies. Then you get every new content every week. That's always our commitment within the 12 themes. So 1 week you might have a focus on boss brand, which might be all about creating an online course. 1 week you might have a week on influencer marketing, right? So it's always different focus points within the 12 themes every week. And then as part of that, you also get a monthly transformation pack with Herbalife Nutrition, the #1 global nutritional brand that helped me lose over 55 pounds 4 years ago and keep it off. Disclaimer, not typical, possible. Disclaimer, the average person loses a half a pound to a pound a week with Herbalife Nutrition and a healthy, active lifestyle. Also, different bonuses every month. So in the first month with the Creation Club, you get the Exponential Exposure course, which you guys is a 5 outline step course on affiliates, on press trips, on speaking gigs and blog posts and so much more. Just in that first month. So, and it's $97 a month, you guys, and the value in it is crazy. And I know that it's completely divine on how I was able to figure out from my past experiences in money and business, the profit margins and how to scale it to where it's super affordable for the average person. And then we also group it for groups like preventative care, influencer marketing integrations, and lifestyle brand creation. So that's gonna happen next year. We're also hosting, as I mentioned, workshops. We have our second Atlanta event, will be July 5th and 6th. So that's already in the works. I'm already outreaching for several other international retreats. And as if that's not already enough, right? Like clearly, like, you know, fire is under my ass in every direction. Lifestyle course. Lifestyle, so this is gonna be a 90-day course. I got a divine download on this that how to basically build your lifestyle brand business in 90 days. So it's gonna be a 90-day course, and it's gonna include then supplements into the mastermind after for continued support, obviously. And same thing, monthly transformation pack, different bonuses, all kinds of things. And then a book on that. And then I'm going into, you guys, so I have a ton of content on money. I have a ton of content on business, because you may or may not know, I also created training for over 5 industries. And so part of what I feel like is my passion and purpose is to create training in the same style with simplicity, but layer in the transformation packs and our mastermind for different industries. Because again, our platform, think Amazon meets Airbnb for transformation, so that I'm not the only creator. There's gonna be more and more and more creators following our structure. They can list on their platform, but if they list on ours, they follow our structure. Kind of like Airbnb, etc., Amazon. So I have a ton of content on money and business. So part of what I feel like is my charge for 2018 is to repurpose and reformat and simplify all that content for CPAs, for business builders, for chief audit executives, for chief operating officers, for CEOs, and to also get accredited with different organizations through fitness and through finance. So that gives us more circles of influence and more leverage, more visibility, more exposure, all of that. So that and whatever else gets put on my lap, and the team, the community. Speaking of which, community. Within 2019, having over 100 stable influencers that stay in our community and generate somewhere between $10,000 to $1 million. So I know that's, and beyond, because I don't want to limit it. Because what I realized in 2018, where it was the springboard and the jumpstart, we had a lot, but it was people that were going in and out and not really recognizing the full value of what we offer to help people create a life and business they love exponentially, get healthy, make money, build brands, and give back, and learn about so many different themes, right? So I realized to shift my intention to have people that fully value everything in our platform and are beyond grateful and blessed to be a part of it, whether it's, you know, as a client and or as an influencer, and that they're super excited about podcast features, about being in challenges, courses, retreats, academies, having us help them create their own, and so much more. And then the same things like I mentioned earlier with leverage with brands. So again, you guys, my goal is to not have a cap on income, to get to full financial freedom, pay off all debt, to get to stable 100K plus months, to get to, with the community team and who God has for me as the love of my life, to President's team and beyond with Herbalife, and to be in our first condo in Buckhead, and to open up our transformation center with basically super bright pink, blue, and green walls that are super Instagrammable, with experience rooms that set up and educate people on our experiences, with how passion plus purpose equals profits, with our challenges, our courses, our mastermind, our retreats. So imagine walking into an Instagrammable wall that's like palm trees and tells you all about our retreats. Shout out to Winky Lux and shout out to Santa Fantastical for giving me the divine downloads and your brilliant ideas. And having it double team as a smoothie bowls, parfaits, but us hosting workshops. So having our workshop week there, having it in Lenox Mall, and having it double up as a co-working space where people can come in like into a Starbucks and be in this beautiful, vibrant community that is fully focused on health and is helping people create a life and a business they love, and having monthly memberships that people have access to even more perks. Kind of like how we work, but more focused on the hands-on implementation with health, wealth, and business, and more community and more, even more Instagram friendly with messaging, drive, experiential rooms, and so much more. Or just a different vision. And whatever else God has with Pretty Place, Hawaii, who knows? That's the intention, the drive, but I'm not, quote unquote, married to the outcome, and or I'm not married to the timing. I love that Rachel Hollis says in her book, like, don't put a deadline on your goals, you guys. I used to do that. And if I didn't hit it at a certain time, I deemed myself not worthy, or I'd get pissed off or frustrated. You are worth fighting for your freedom, no matter what it takes, no matter the time frame, no matter what it is. You are not too young, you are not too old. Whatever the divine timing is, it is, and it's perfect. So with that, I hope that you took notes. I hope you got transformed and inspired for what's possible for your life. I hope that you take action and that you focus on faith, feeling, and focus in creating a life and a business you love. And perhaps you'll create in our community as well. And chat soon.